this is your February 2025 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading. Thank you for joining me on my channel. It's Romy here. We're going to open up for you this month with the energy of the Hermit. And you know, you are bringing this real sort of wisdom to proceedings rolled all the way through the month of February. Change starts from within, and I think, you know, there's a realization for you this month, Scorpio, very much around like expectations. You're really reevaluating them. You know, in fourth house energy, in Aquarius season, it's about home, how emotionally secure and safe you feel. And the Mars retrograde energy has also been really inviting that inner reflection as well. It's not what happens, it's what we make it mean. But as you come to terms with the realization of how you can, with focus and intention, create a stronger, safer inner sanctuary for yourself, it enables you to stop giving so much energy to needing other people to behave or act in a certain way, or for certain conditions to be perfect or to unfold in any given way in order for you to feel better or to give you a green light to be able to move forward in some way, shape or form in your own life. And I think that that discernment, that wisdom, that understanding is going to go a long way to helping you to navigate from this point forth and bring about, honestly, a greater peace of mind within your own pathways at this moment in time, okay? I think that, you know, you are definitely through the course of February realizing actually how capable you are in some aspect of your life, and that, you know, you appreciate that yes, the past may have shaped you, but it no longer defines you. And so I think you're giving yourself permission to see yourself in a light that enables you to go after things or to feel deserving of things that perhaps you've always had some aspect of resistance up to this point. Now, on the first of the month, Venus, Neptune and the North Node coalesce in Pisces, and there's a really beautiful transcendent moment happening here. And I feel it's one that's going to carry you through all the way to the new moon in Pisces on the 27th. And the Hermit definitely tells me that there's something coming, that higher awareness that's brought into your consciousness at the beginning of February. And you know, that's going to enable you in some way to almost deal with the more grounded reality of what might be going on and playing out for you in the day-to-day. There's this very humanitarian aspect to Aquarian energy, and yet, you know, the Hermit is showing up as being somewhat isolated. It may be that you feel you're having to figure something out alone, or that you actually feel a little bit withdrawn from the people or places that you're normally very active or participating in, or that you're just very aware of where in your life requires the extra support. The Eight of Wands talks about how energy is really gathering momentum, and what you're going to see is Jupiter stationing direct in Gemini on the 4th. We've also got Mars going direct on the 23rd. So green light energy here. Now perhaps things that you put into motion but then had to sort of be almost put on hold, or there may have been some blocks or challenges that came up that needed to be dealt with. And there was an inner reflective journey that you had to go on in order to arrive at a conclusion or to see something, you know, in a new way. And now, as these planets station direct, I feel like there's a little silver lining, a gift that comes up that helps you to return to something and take it forward with more focus and more intention, okay? Now, these arrows are coming directly behind the Hermit. It's almost like he's unaware of the news or information or messages that is about to happen upon him. But that, I think, in some ways is a good thing, because I think what you will be fully focused on is ensuring that you're finding that sense of balance within you, regardless of what's going on around you. And as I said, I think some of the focus is about how you create more peace of mind. And it's almost a strange thing that happens. It's as you think about that and you sort of reflect on the sacred tools that you've got, the journey that's brought you to this point, it almost feels like you get news or information that actually brings about something that gives you peace of mind. So it's almost like you then instantaneously manifest what you're already trying to embody and yet it was already on its way, it was already in motion. So a kind of beautiful synchronicity feels like it kind of shows up. We also have, of course, the full moon in Leo arriving on the 12th of the month, and 8 of Coins shows up here. It may feel that there's something going on in and around that time that is, you know, requiring quite a lot from you. It's demanding some sense of, you know, consistent and continued investment, commitment. And you need to know that the progress that you've made, or, you know, what your energy is bringing to that situation, is deeply valued and needed, not just for others, but actually for yourself as well, because it's helping you to kind of almost play something out. You know, sometimes we need this sort of meditative process of, you know, working on something to enable our mind to be free to sort of think about or process something else. And it feels very true to say that. But as you come up around that energy of the full moon in Leo, there could be some news or information connected into work, or into something that you're trying to advance yourself or progress or move forward, that can have some sort of impact materially around you. Now, I think that there's a boldness and a courage that's being demanded of you. We have Venus having shifted into Aries from the 3rd of the month, also helping to join that heart-led energy with all of that fire, motivating you in a more significant way than perhaps you have felt for some time. One thing I do want to highlight is that you are going to start to lean into some of the shadow energy of Venus with her upcoming retrograde in March for both Venus in Aries and then Venus in Pisces. So it could be that there are some themes, and remember, a full moon in Leo is always going to bring a little drama. There are some themes that arise around that time that feel a little bit problematic or unexpected, and you're going to be exploring those in much more detail in the coming weeks. So it's almost just like a heads up. Now, it could feel like a little bit of a discordant energy. Nothing hugely problematic. I think it's just shining a light and saying, hey, we're going to be looking into this a lot more soon enough. So the thing with this full moon in Leo is I also believe it needs you to know your value in any given situation, so that other people can also see that value in you. So don't be afraid to sort of stand under the spotlight and almost like talk about what you've achieved or what you're doing or how you're doing it, and celebrate and acknowledge and give credit to yourself. It's almost a bit of a test in that way, so that other people can look towards you and actually be inspired and be you know, really in the picture actually, to the degree that you have been able to show up, or that you are doing something. They may not even have an awareness of, you know, what you've done or what's going on. And, you know, it's not that you're looking for that kind of ego to be stroked, but I think that this is an important part of something that is connected in, you know, when you look at 4th house and the understanding of, you know, how we inner parent ourselves, you know, how we get that balance, divine feminine and masculine. And so we need to be empowered in both energies. And if we're dealing with wound on either maternal, paternal sides, or, you know, there's inner child stuff that hasn't been addressed, it's often projected out in ways that then reflects things back to us, okay? So there's something intrinsically tied into you being able to stand up and be counted and demonstrate and express what you know you bring in terms of value to, you know, whether it's work or relationship or family or, you know, whatever it is. And so that sort of almost shows yourself how much you've grown, how much you've evolved, how much you've changed, okay? The other thing I want to say, particularly around that full moon in Leo, is please stop giving so much energy to worst case scenarios, Scorpio. You know, what you actually want to manifest is starving for the amount of attention and intention and energy from you that you may be giving to, you know, what the worst case you think is going to happen. And, you know, when we repeatedly do that, you know, we create a mistrust with our ability to actually bring something to reality, or, you know, for someone else to do the right thing, or for something to actually happen. And that 9 of Wands tells me that there's a trust issue and a depletion in your energy, because in some way you're just focusing on the wrong aspect of the very thing that you want the most. So pay attention to that and perhaps use that full moon in Leo to rewrite that story and release something in regards to that. Again, we might, return to this whole reevaluation of expectations, okay? And again, in this soul searching of, what is the thing that's going to bring me more peace of mind? What is going to help me to feel better about myself? There's deeper questions that you're needing to come to terms with, and they're really being highlighted through your relationships, through the circumstances and events that show up. That's going to help you to evaluate a lot of things in your life very differently through the course of February, okay? I feel like this is such a powerful month to sort of almost be shown things, spiritually speaking, in a way that you have never really understood before. Seeing yourself, maybe why you are where, the way that you are, or how you've arrived at where you're at. And both in the light and the shadow, but being able to do it from a really grounded, calm place, that equanimity that you can bring to situations really matters this month. Now, I also think with the 9, there's this energy of perseverance, and sometimes when we feel depleted, if we've been working really hard or invested an awful lot into something, and either it's gone nowhere or we're feeling like it's not delivered again to our expectations, the 9 tells me, and we're in this 9 year, right, that we're at this point of coming to the end of a cycle, and that there is this realization that, the rewards of the experience and everything that you've done up to this point, are immeasurable in terms of how they've helped you to grow and evolve. But I feel like there's one sort of, not one last thing, but maybe one last mile. There's a piece of the puzzle missing, and you're right in it at the moment. You're figuring it out. You will figure it out, but don't give up and don't give in, and don't sort of downplay or even try to pretend to yourself that it's not important anymore or it doesn't matter, because I think the reality is that it does. Okay, we have Ace of Cups coming through, and again, I think you will have come to realize in the life that you have had here that, it's not love that hurts. Real love, unconditional love, doesn't ask for anything. It's completely pure. It's, again, the expectations that hurt, where they have not been met. And, your whole relationship to love, in whatever sort of way, shape or form that's shown up, whether that's romantic love, family love, friendship love, there's again something being highlighted and shown to you, and to the degree that you can deeply love, respect and trust and be loyal to yourself is the degree to which other people can give you that same energy. You can only receive what you give to yourself, and I think that sort of wake-up call also helps you to consider or reconsider the ways in which you want to take care of yourself or ensure your well-being is also prioritized moving forward in a new way, which also, by the way, means negotiations that you may have. And that's important because we've got Juno, asteroid goddess, shifting into Sagittarius on the 19th. Remember, she rules over partnerships, agreements, relationships, and also Pallas Athena, known for her work in terms of supporting our plans and strategies, shifting into Aquarius. So we want freedom and we want change for the better as we work with these asteroid goddess energies in February. And I think that you now understand that the terms have to be improved upon because you understand more clearly what it is that you need from any given situation. And that might have taken a little time to arrive at that. That's okay, right? Sometimes it can take us years to sort of arrive at what may feel like the most obvious reality, but that's what it means to sort of have the soul story that you're in and that we all have. So there's a healing aspect to this and a lot of new energy coming through, and for you also perhaps an invitation to see whether you can fall back in love with yourself in an even greater way in the month of February, and what that would mean and how that would change things in all aspects of your life moving forward. It's going to help you to set some new goals for yourself and show up and respond differently in relationships, which again is why the Venus retrograde will actually be helpful in many regards as you are setting out new standards in the ways that you want to love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself, and therefore you'll track over all the relationships in your life as well. Now, as we come into Pisces energy, then we're 5th house, right? 9 of Cups. Your relationship to desire, to pleasure, to the things that light you up. What does your heart yearn for? How are you honoring your heart? I think there's some things that come in through the month of February, toward the end of the month, and especially when Mars shifts direct in Cancer, it's just like there's this sort of green light to really go for something that the heart has been sort of trying to get your attention on for some time. There's also some really nice energy showing up that has a real feel-good factor. Now, maybe again that is connected into this, what gives you some peace of mind. But I feel like a question that sort of almost flows out of that, or is perhaps even the thing that is being considered before it shows up, is what and where feels like home. And as you start to sort of think about that more transparently, truthfully with yourself, the people you need to be surrounded with, the areas that are really good for you, the things that just help you to feel most like yourself, that challenge you but in good ways and beautiful ways. There's a lot of realizations that are going to help you in the next steps that you're going to want to start taking. But this is where the perseverance matters, because you see we've then got these energies coming in that indicate that actually it was worth it, and now you've got an opportunity for some sort of new pathway opening itself up. And as you get to that new moon in Pisces on the 27th, I feel like you're very clear in your mind as to the nature of why this needs to happen. That's what I hear you saying, like, this needs to happen. And you know, you could convince anybody because you're so resolute in yourself of the significance and the importance of it, and you wholeheartedly commit to it, and there's a sort of next level investment that you make in yourself. That's what I really want to say. Like, February for you, Scorpio, feels like this significant investment that you make in self, and my goodness, it pays off, right? 9 of Cups. Now, if you're new to the channel, the last 3 cards we're going to look at in the extended version of my reading, you can find that in the comment and description box underneath. I hope you'll join me. It supports the channel. We'll also look at a personal and a relationship card, speak for another 25 minutes or so. So I'm just going to go ahead and clarify these cards and see the direction that we're going to take this reading for you. So beginning with a Hermit, we've got another 9 of Wands here, and then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, another Ace of Cups, lovely. King of Wands. Knight of Cups, might be some new offers coming through, new romantic opportunities for those of you that are sort of focused on that. Of course, it is coming through into that Valentine's season. We do have Mercury shifting into Pisces on the 14th. Could be some quite bold gestures made through the course of this month, with that full moon in Leo arriving on the 12th and Venus in Aries. Okay, 5 of Cups. And the World. I think this whole emotional experience, you know, I often talk about the fact that the 3 of Swords is like old pain, and you've got your 5 of Cups. I think there's a lot of reflection on the things that have really hurt you, but from a perspective of understanding how your expectations really were part of that, you know, and not that that's not completely valid, because it absolutely is, but just to the degree that it impacted or amplified what it is that you experienced and how acutely you may have felt things. Right, we're going to look at Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my deck. So if you're new to the channel, or if you are a regular, please take a moment, go check out my website, see any new offers that are coming through. You'll also find my sacred titles, which is of course my Oracle deck, my new journal, and my book. These are soul companions. They are designed to support you on your soul journey for everything you are going through right now. And they hold my energy, the wisdom from my guides, and really just created with heart and the intention to help you. Okay. we're going to pull one more oracle for Scorpio for the month of February. What do we have for you? New moon in Cancer, relax. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, Scorpio. Have a beautiful month ahead, and I'm going to see you again next time.